Hello everyone, this is your host, your friend, your boy, Jet Black, the one and only, here with another exciting video, and in this video I'm going to be playing some AI Dungeon 2. I'm going to slip on some headphones real quick. So in case you guys aren't aware, I've been getting really into Icelandic folklore recently. So in Iceland, around 55% of the population believe in the existence of elves and other supernatural creatures, and this has a direct effect not only on their culture and their myths and legends and stories, but also on their economy, the way they regulate like construction, their tourism industry. It almost feels like a different kind of world. Like the more I look into their culture, the more interesting it is to see such a like large group of people who all believe in magic and it's like a part of their everyday in a way. So based on that, I've been creating some AI Dungeon 2 prompts and scenarios, and in this one, I'm playing an AI Dungeon 2 adventure that's inspired by Icelandic mythology and inspired by the Mandalorian. So if you're a fan of either of those things, you may get a kick out of this. But without further ado, can I help save Metaheim, the prophetic baby wizard, by taking him to the Great Elf Church without being killed by King Bluetooth's army of evil trolls? Let's start the 30-minute timer and find out. So I'm going to turn down the volume on my computer real quick, make sure that I'm recording, reset the timer, hit start, and then hop right into this AI Dungeon 2 adventure. You betrayed King Bluetooth. You were hired to bring him the prophetic baby wizard known as Metaheim, but you've decided that you're going to take Metaheim to the Great Elf Church instead. King Bluetooth has mobilized an army of trolls to hunt you down and take Metaheim by force. You recently learned that King Bluetooth wants to take over Iceland by harnessing the power of Metaheim. You are a patriotic bounty hunter who wants to protect Iceland at all cost. It is midnight, and you are traveling across the cold Icelandic mountainside towards the Great Elf Church. You have Metaheim strapped to your chest and a quiver of enchanted arrows strapped to your back. You are holding your trusty bow in your right hand. You can hear the voices of trolls echoing from somewhere nearby. Then the AI said, "You are suddenly attacked by a group of trolls. You roll out of the way to avoid being crushed by a large stony fist. You knock an enchanted arrow and fire it at a troll. The arrow flies true and strikes the troll's neck." And we're just like in the middle of this action scene now. I'm going to say, "Trolls, let me pass. King Bluetooth threatens Iceland. Surely, you must not want the country to go down in flames. I trust that we are all patriots here. So instead of like going toe to toe and just fighting these trolls, I'm going to see if they're going to allow me to pass and if they also are like fans of Iceland. A troll who smells like he's drowning in a vat of mud lets out a bellowing laugh. He has thick stony skin and warts all over his face. The troll says, and then it didn't actually finish what the troll said, so I'm going to hit enter to see what the troll says. He seems to have a very disgusting appearance based on the way that they've described him. But I don't know, maybe that's attractive for a troll. "Ha! Trolls do not care about patriotism. We only follow those who can lead us to battle innocent babies and delicious elves. And since you cannot do either of those things, it looks like I'm going to eat you." I'm going to say, trolls are known for being grateful towards those who help them. If you let me take Metaheim to the Great Elf Church, I will help you in the future. Do we have a deal? So let me see if I can work something out with the trolls. If I can't, we'll do like a big epic battle. If I can, it'll definitely help me like a good bit. The troll licking his lips says, "A troll is only as good as his word, human. I'll allow you to pass, but do not try to escape. My other trolls will hunt you down if you do. Okay? I'm going to say, then the deal is made. I'll talk about, well, I guess I'll talk with you. Um, how about this? I'll discuss the details with you after I've dropped Metaheim off at the Great Elf Church. Keep up your end of the bargain, and I'll keep up mine. If any of your trolls try to stop me, then the deal will be off. Understood? Okay. So it seems like the troll is doing like a... He's down to actually like do a deal with me, which is nice. The troll, chuckling to himself, says, I understand. Trolls are trustworthy creatures after all. The troll steps aside, and all of the trolls part to allow you through. You walk across the stony terrain and towards the Great Elf Church. Okay. I'm going to continue forward towards the Great Elf Church. I am glad that the trolls were willing to make a deal with me. Excuse me. Having to fight a whole bunch of trolls after midnight is really rough. Midnight is like the darkest time of night, where there's pretty much like no sunlight. Trolls in Icelandic mythology, in the sun, turn to stone and die. It's like their biggest weakness. So I purposely set this up at midnight to where you just couldn't use that as an option. So if I had to fight them, it would have been rough. As you continue forward, the Great Elf Church comes into view. It is a large gray church with a statue of Hans Christian Andersen sitting outside. You walk up to the statue and read the plaque. Hans Christian Andersen. That name sounds familiar. I don't know who that is. Also, the Great Elf Church is supposed to be like a rock. So in Icelandic mythology, the elves are like invisible beings that live in like sacred stones. So they normally just look like really large rocks. So it's interesting that they're like, the church is a gray church with a statue of a guy outside. And I just imagine like a gray rock with a statue of a guy outside. The plaque reads, the world's greatest writer and all-around amazing person. He was able to touch people's hearts through his wonderful stories. He was taken to elf heaven when he was still young, but his kind generosity allowed him to be taken there before his time. Interesting. Who is this guy? Who is this guy? I'm sorry, I gotta hit up the Google real quick. Hans Christian Andersen. He's a Danish author. Let's see, he's a prolific writer of plays, travelogues, novels, and poems, and he's best remembered for his fairy tales. And the elves like made a statue for him and sent him to elf heaven. They really, really like storytellers, especially storytellers who talk about fairy stuff. That's kind of neat. Okay. I'm going to say, elves, I have brought you Metaheim. I need someone to protect him. I brought him here to the sacred land because I know that no one would dare attack this place. Please, I beg of you. Okay. So let's see how this goes. And like I mentioned before, Metaheim is like a character that I made up to try and be like the Grogu or like Baby Yoda equivalent of the story. He's like the prophetic wizard baby who will grow up to become like the most powerful wizard in the world that King Bluetooth wants to use in order to take over Iceland. The statue slowly comes to life. What? The statue's gonna come to life? It turns to you, confused at first, but then it realizes who you are and bows down to you. The statue says, the fairy tale writer statue can come to life? That is not at all what I thought was going to happen. And the statue recognized me. It knows who I am. You have my thanks, great one. An act of kindness such as this cannot go unrewarded. We will protect this young elven child with our life. Right, Hans? Right, Hans Christian Andersen's statue shouts. He is the statue, though. What? I'm so confused. If I change that first part from the statue says to an elf says, I think that would work a lot better. So elves in Icelandic mythology are invisible and they can choose to be seen or not to be seen. So I think it's fine for me to have an elf say that first part because you wouldn't necessarily see the elf like walk into the scene or anything like that. And then the statue can say right or whatever, and that's fine. That works for me. So I'm going to hand Metaheim to the statue. So this is actually going really well, like surprisingly well. The elves didn't refuse to take Metaheim, which is a plus, and the trolls agreed to work with me. The statue takes the baby in its hands and holds it lovingly. Thank you, human. We will definitely treat him with more kindness than his parents did. The statue looks at you once before returning to its inanimate state. Okay. I'm going to go back to the trolls and say, how can I help you? So I do owe the trolls a favor. So let's see what the trolls ask of me. They might just like eat my flesh or something. The troll says, I told you that you could discuss the details afterwards. You didn't specify what the details of the deal were. You must now honor your side of the deal. The troll transforms back into his original form, a large, dark green creature. Okay. I'm going to say, I am here to honor my side of the deal. I owe you a favor. What would you like me to do? I am here to help. Okay. Trolls in Icelandic mythology are dim-witted, but they also are skilled spellcasters. They can brew and craft potions. They crave and devour human flesh. But they also are super grateful to anyone who helps them. And they're known for giving great rewards for, help. The troll smiles at you. I have a few tasks that need to be done. Nothing you won't be able to handle. For your help, I will pay you this favor back. You nod your head. All right, I accept. Great, the troll says. I'm going to say, what task would you like me to complete? He mentioned that he had like a list of tasks, but then he didn't say what the task was. So now I'm just waiting. I'm waiting to know what the task is. Elves have a lot of treasure hidden away in their churches, the troll says. Most of it is stolen from humans and dwarves, but there are also a few magical objects that they have collected throughout the years. One magical ring in particular, which can make you invisible. Ah, shit, this is some Lord of the Rings stuff. Do they have the one ring? Does he want me to go to the elf church to steal the one ring? Also, let me publish this and turn on automatic story summarization. That should help the story stay consistent. So I'm going to say, do you want me to collect the ring of invisibility? From the Great Elf Church? Yeah, this seems like it might be a weird situation. I want you to get a few things. The ring, the holy orb, which grows bright enough to illuminate an entire town, and a few other treasures, the troll says. Okay? I'm going to say, so you want me to steal all of the treasure from the Great Elf Church? Hmm. No. I want you to steal all of the treasure from the Great Elf Church, the Royal Treasury, and the Dwarven Vaults. Gather all of the valuables in the world, put them in a sack, and then give that sack to me. Okay? I'm going to say, I will do that, but I'll need you all to meet me at sunrise in a forest clearing to claim the sack. Okay. So I'm going to betray the trolls now. That's my plan. Fine, the troll says. The troll turns back into a statue. You walk down the stairs, exit the cave, and enter your campsite. You fall asleep and wake up as the sun is rising. Okay, cool. So I'm going to go to go to a forest clearing with a sack full of rocks. My goal is to trick the trolls into believing that I've collected all of the world's treasures. You hope that the trolls will be exposed to sunlight when they come to collect the sack and die. Yeah, and die due to their exposure. Yeah, I know that trolls turn to stone and die when in the sun. Yeah, like when under the rays of the sun. I feel like this is my safest bet. I'd rather do that than like steal all the world's treasures. You exit the cave and walk out into the forest. You find a clearing, drop the sack of rocks in the center, and sit down next to it. You wait for several hours before you see three trolls emerge from the trees. They look at you in the sack of rocks. Okay? I'm going to say, come out into the sunlight to claim your prize. Okay? Hopefully they fall for it. Take the bait. You collected the treasure, one of the trolls asks. All of it, you say. I'll hand it over in exchange for my parents. What? No. Get rid of that. I'll hand it over in exchange for my parents. I'm just gonna take the part where I say like all of it. And I'm just gonna hit enter. Okay. Come on, trolls. The trolls look at each other and then at the bag. They look up at the sky, which is quickly turning red as the sun rises. We don't have all day, humans. I vote that we stay in the shade and have our buddy there bring the sack over. Ooh. Ooh, okay. So the trolls are like, we're gonna stay in the shaded area. We're not about to like go out into like the sunlight. I'm going to say there is a charm on the sack that makes it where it can only be claimed during the day. The charm, sadly, is one that no one can break. The bag is too heavy for me to lift. It would take all three of you trolls to lift this sack. You'll have to enter the sunlight in order to claim the prize. Okay. So I'm gonna keep going with like the trick. You watch as the trolls argue. I call bullcrap stupidity on this. There's no way a tiny human like you could carry a sack full of treasure. There's something weird going on here. Brothers, I think we should kill this guy and take the bag. I'm going to say, in order to kill me, you'll need to enter the sunlight. You have no reason not to trust me. Come into the sunlight and claim the treasure. Bullcrap stupidity. Making up new words. I'm with the youngin' on this, brothers. Let's kill the pathetic human and take our prizes. Fine, one of the trolls says. The trolls enter the clearing and walk up to you. Okay. You wait for the sunlight to turn the trolls to stone and kill them. He told us you'd say that. Brothers, let's kill this uppity troll, you hear someone say. You turn around and see three elves pointing bows at you. He told us you'd say that. Brothers, let's kill this uppity troll. I'm going to say to the elves, these trolls just said that they wanted to kill me. Thank you, elves, for coming to my rescue. Please save me from these trolls. Yo, but point the arrows at the trolls. Hit them up. I actually didn't do anything wrong. I was trying to kill the trolls. It's odd that the trolls said that. We made sure they understood that they would be turned to stone if they tried anything. Yes, but they are trolls. They're stupid. Let's kill them and get this over with. Let's see. Don't know who said that. I assume that the elves said that. I'm gonna say you are confused. You don't know why the elves are here, but you hope they can help you deal with the trolls. You are surprised that the trolls haven't turned to stone and died yet. So the trolls entered the clearing, and the clearing should be lit by the sun, right? Maybe the sun's still rising. Maybe there's not enough sunlight yet. Thanks for saving me from these evil trolls, but I don't understand. Why are you still alive? I watched the sunlight hit your backs and nothing happened to you. I'm actually really confused because elves should be fine. Like that seems like something that I'd be saying to the elves. But whatever. So I just hit retry on that. Why won't you stinking trolls turn to stone? I said I was helping the human, not you, one of the trolls says. What? I'm so confused. Hold up, retry. It's still getting it twisted. You watch as the elves fire their bows. Ow! You yell as an arrow goes into your thigh. You look over at the trolls and see if they haven't turned to stone yet. The elves must be missing. What? Goodness. I'm going to try to get out of the way of the elves firing their bows. I wonder if there isn't enough sunlight out yet to turn the trolls to stone. Yeah. So maybe because it's like sunrise, the sun is like barely up. You roll to the side. Why is this happening? The troll should have turned to stone by now, one of the elves says, confused. You hear a series of booms. I got him, one of the elves says, looking satisfied. Okay. I'm going to take cover behind the nearest rock or tree. Or at the very least, like, try to take cover behind the nearest rock or tree. So I'm still confused. The trolls hopefully should turn to stone soon. What's going on? Another elf asks. The troll hasn't turned to stone, an elf replies. The elves fire another round of arrows at you. I think they're trying to help the trolls, one of the elves says. They must be working together. What? No. I'm going to say to the elves. The trolls said they wanted to kill me. I am not on the side of those who wish to kill me. If you elves are trying to save me from the trolls, then I am on your side. Okay. So the elves are shooting arrows at me because they think I'm in league with the trolls. I don't fully know why the elves are shooting at the trolls. I mean, maybe they have beef. One of the elves turns and fires an arrow at you, hitting you in the chest. What? I'm sorry. We had to be sure, one of the elves says. This way. You see two elves dragging the troll towards you. What? What the heck is happening? So it seems like no one's on my side. I'm going to quickly realize that no one is on my side. I don't know why the trolls didn't turn to stone. I don't know why the elves think I'm their enemy. All I know is that I need to get out of here. And I'm going to attempt to flee to the Great Elf Church. Yeah, so things are getting heavy, like real quick. You notice that the elves are retreating into the woods. Come on, one of them says. We can't fight these trolls. You turn and run towards the Great Elf Church. You find yourself running through a meadow of wildflowers. Let's see. I'm going to continue racing toward the church. I believe that I'll be safe there, since no one dares to attack sacred ground. Yeah, I still don't know what's up with the trolls. Trolls that are immune to sunlight sound incredibly dangerous. That's like their one weakness. The church is made of beautiful stained glass and is an amazing sight. Again, the churches are supposed to be rocks, and earlier they said it was gray, but maybe I was looking at it like during midnight or whatever. Look, one of the elves says, that human is racing towards the sacred ground of the great elf church. This will put us back in our good graces. This will put us back in our good graces? I don't even know what that means. I'm going to say, I came here last night. My MacBook out here making noises. I came here last night with Metaheim. Now, there are trolls and elves trying to kill me. I know why the trolls want to kill me, but I don't know why the elves came after me. Oh. Well, I guess that's the end of this particular adventure. I will say that so far, this adventure has been like pretty interesting. It's one of those adventures where instead of everything going wrong at the beginning, it's like everything starts going wrong like near the end. So I was able to make a deal with the trolls. I was able to drop off Metaheim. But the issue that I had was once I tried to betray the trolls and not follow through with what they asked me to do, then I ended up becoming like an enemy of like everyone. But I am curious to see like where the story would go if it were to be continued. I'd want to know like why is it that the trolls are immune to sunlight? I'd want to know why the elves like suddenly started like attacking. Maybe the elves heard word that I was gonna like steal all the treasures or whatever, because that is what I told the trolls I was going to do. So maybe they thought that like I was a thief, but I was lying about being a thief, and it ends up being like you're a double agent kind of thing, but no one knows, including the good guys. So I just became like everyone's bad guy. So that's like an interesting concept for a story. What do you guys think? Definitely let me know in the comment section below and on our Discord, link in the description. If you guys like AI Dungeon 2, then make sure you hit that subscribe button because I do a new AI Dungeon 2 video every day. This is your host, your friend, your boy, Jet Black the one and only, logging out. Peace, guys. Check it about.